I'm rambling. Ah. What's up everyone, it's Chrissy. So I'm really near the end of my term in London. I'm only here for another 4 days or so. So I'm really kind of sad about it, actually. But of course my time in London has been absolutely incredible, and there's really no way I could put enough words together to kind of amount all of the things I've learned and experienced while I've been here. So I thought for my last video from London, I would give you some tips about studying abroad, because it can be a really daunting thing to just up and move to another country for a little while. So these are my top 10 tips for studying abroad. Number 1, do your research. Now this might seem kind of obvious, but it's really important to do your research, not just about the location you're going to, but about the culture that's there, the way life functions there. Definitely look up budgetary things as well. We'll talk about money a little bit later, but sticker shock is really real, and it's important to know what you're getting yourself into before you actually leave the country. So do your research about everything so that when you get to your host country, you're ready. Number 2, be open to new experiences. Again, this one might sound obvious, but as soon as you leave the United States or wherever your home country may be, you suddenly realize how comfortable you are in that kind of environment and how uncomfortable you are in your host country. I was super excited to be here, and I still am really excited to be in London, but after a couple of days I really started to realize how different life was, and it got a little bit scary. So don't let that fear get the best of you. Really keep yourself open to trying new things, and no one is saying you have to rush through this. In all likelihood, you have plenty of time to experience everything your host country has to offer. So take it at your own pace, but definitely be open to trying new things. Number 3, ask for help when you need it. There is no amount of research you could do to ever prepare yourself to go live in another country. There's just not. So please, please, please don't be afraid to ask for help. There are no stupid questions. You're in a totally new environment. It's better that you ask than you get yourself into trouble. 4, learn the local language and use it as often as you can. So for me, this one's a little bit strange because the local language in England is English, which is also the local language in the United States. But the British English is really different than American English, so I had to learn a lot of new catchphrases and understand that when someone asks you if you're alright, they're not actually asking if you're alright, like something is wrong, they're kind of just saying what's up, which took me forever to figure out. So, definitely learn the local language and the slang. That's super important. Learn the slang, learn the local language, and use it as often as you can. Number 5, dress like the locals. Now this does not mean you have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe for wherever you're studying abroad. But what you should do is look up ahead of time how the locals dress, and this will help you be less of a target for things like pickpocketing. If you look like the locals, you look less like a tourist. And even though you don't have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe, it is a really good excuse to go out and buy a couple things. Number 6, eat the local food. Wow, I can't press this enough. Oh my gosh, if you go abroad and like all you do is eat at chain restaurants that currently exist in the United States, you are passing up a huge opportunity to experience culture. I understand that trying different foods can be really, really scary, and sometimes you're not gonna like it, but that's okay. At least try the food. And if you're coming to England, try the Indian food. That probably sounds really strange, but the Indian food is so good. So good. 7, set a budget and stick to it, or at least try to stick to it. There can be a really big temptation when you're studying abroad to spend lots of money on all sorts of things because it's the only time you're ever gonna get to do it. In some cases, it is the only time you're gonna get to do it, and in those instances, I say totally go for it. Like, don't miss out on that experience. Setting a budget really helps you stay on track financially so that your study abroad experience doesn't turn into the biggest financial burden you've ever taken on. Your budget is also likely to be sensitive to the type of currency exchange you're going through. So when you come from the United States to England, life in England is more expensive than it is in the United States. But if you go somewhere else where the currency exchange works in your favor, you might have a little bit more wiggle room in the budget. So just understand how much money you have to spend and really try to stay to that amount. Number 8, explore your host city. Now this is not me saying you shouldn't travel while you're studying abroad. Yes, you should travel, but I don't think you should be traveling all of the time. Your host city or country or wherever it is you're studying abroad has so much culture and so many things to offer you that if you're traveling all the time, you might miss out on a lot of those experiences. You've chosen your host city for a reason, so make sure you take the time to really explore everything that that host location has to offer you. And travel if you can, because travel is fun too. Number 9, take pictures of everything. Take the super touristy pictures in front of all the sites. Take the really strange pictures of a sidewalk because it has a cool piece of street art on it. Take pictures of every meal you have because the food looks fantastic and the plating is really nice. Just take all of the pictures of everything. You'll appreciate it so much when you're home. And number 10, have fun. There is no other experience like studying abroad. You're living in another country. Like, how cool is that? Do everything you want to on that bucket list and have a wonderful, wonderful time doing whatever it is you're doing, wherever it is you are. That is all I have for you guys this week, and this is my last video from London. I love it here. Like, that is so sad. But don't you worry, because my next video will be coming at you from the United States. If you liked this video, don't forget to share it with your friends. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos of my adventures every Wednesday. Bye!